Hello friends, today I will discuss the numerical problems on three-phase induction motor. So here first let me discuss in brief about the three-phase induction motor construction and then power stages and their relations. Then we go to the solving the problems. Three-phase induction motor will have the two major parts. One is called the stator, the other is called the rotor. Stator will have the three windings which are supplied by the three-phase AC supply. When the supply is given to the stator winding, it produces a rotating magnetic field rotating at a synchronous speed in the air gap between rotor and stator. And that flux links with the rotor conductors, and rotor conductors induce the current in its windings if the windings are closed. And the rotor are two types. One is called the squirrel cage type. In case of squirrel cage type rotor, the windings are bars which are within the surface of the rotor. Whereas in case of slip ring induction motor, the windings are also connected to the external star connected resistor arrangement which are variable in nature. So the induced voltage in the stator winding we call them as E1, and the supply frequency we call as F, and the rotor induced EMF per phase we call as E2, and the rotor frequency means induced EMF frequency we call as FR. This E2 or this FR will change with the speed of the rotor. It will be maximum when the rotor is at standstill, and it will be less when it starts rotating. Similarly, its frequency is maximum when the rotor is at standstill, but under running conditions the rotor induced EMF frequency reduces. And coming to the power stages in the three-phase induction motor, whatever we give here, the input is called the input to the stator, that we can see in the power flow diagram like this. This is the three-phase AC supply, and we are giving the input power to the stator winding of the three-phase induction motor like this, and we represent the input power as Pi. So whereas here there are copper losses in the stator winding and also core loss also there. So once we subtract these losses in the input to the stator, then we get the air gap power, means it is nothing but stator output power, and we represent that with Pg, and that is also called air gap power. And this air gap power, if you will link with the rotor, and if the rotor copper losses are subtracted from this air gap power, then whatever we get, that we call as mechanical power developed, and that we normally represent with the P suffix M. Suppose if you subtract the friction and windage losses from this PM, that is mechanical power developed, whatever we get is called the output power of the motor. This is the ultimate power from the motor. If these friction and windage losses are negligible, then whatever mechanical power developed PM will be equal to the P0. So these stages we have to remember while solving the problem. This should be in mind while solving the problems. So next, let me go to the equivalent circuit and then get the formulas for various stages. So here basically we are going to solve the problems based on the input power, stator losses, air gap power, rotor copper loss, mechanical power developed, friction and windage losses, output power, torque developed, load torque, efficiency. So efficiency means this output divided by input, that is P0 by Pi. So to discuss about this, let me consider the equivalent circuit or the necessary diagram for the various items is like this. This is the input voltage to the stator, and this is the core loss component. This is the magnetic branch, that is IM here. This is the resistance. So in this, whatever current that flows here we call as core loss component. This is the magnetizing component, and this is called the input current, I naught, no load current. And this is the I2 dash. I2 dash means it is the rotor circuit current referred to the stator side. Means when we transfer the secondary or the rotor circuit parameters to the stator side, then we get I2 dash. Similarly, R1 X1. R1 means it is the stator resistance per phase. X1 means it is the stator reactance per phase. And R2 dash means it is the rotor resistance referred to the primary side. Similarly, X2 dash means it is the rotor reactance per phase referred to the stator side. And then we write this. In fact, we get here R2 dash by S, and that R2 dash by S we can write like this. R2 dash here, then here R2 dash into 1 by S minus 1. If you add this and this, we get R2 dash by S. Next, so having known this circuit, we can calculate everything. So three-phase power input to the stator is nothing but 3 into V1 I1 cos phi 1. This cos phi 1 means it is the input power factor of the equivalent circuit. So then we can calculate what is the stator copper loss. R1 is nothing but the stator resistance per phase, and I1 is the stator current. So 3I1 square into R1 will give us stator copper loss. And once we know the stator copper loss and also stator core loss, then we can calculate what is the air gap power. So we have seen earlier in the power stage diagram. So look at this. This is the input power, and this is the stator copper loss and iron loss or core loss. If you subtract these two losses from this input, so we get PG. So that is what we have written there. PG is equal to input power minus stator copper loss minus stator core loss. So we write like this. PG is equal to input power Pi minus stator copper loss 3I1 square into R1 minus stator core loss. So now it can also be written like this. PG is equal to 3 E2 I2 dash into cos phi 2. So this further we can write like this. 3 I2 dash square R2 dash divided by S. So this is another way of expressing the air gap power. If you know this, then we can get another relation like this. Rotor copper loss. This is 3I2 dash square R2 dash means rotor copper loss. That rotor copper loss is equal to S into air gap power. That we can write here like this. Rotor copper loss 3I2 dash R2 dash 3I2 dash square into R2 dash is equal to S into PG. PG means air gap power. This is another formula which we get here. Suppose we subtract the rotor copper losses from this air gap power, then whatever we get we call that as mechanical power developed. That we can see in the power stage diagram also. This is the PG and we are subtracting this, then we get what is called the mechanical power developed. See here, PG minus rotor copper loss will give us mechanical power developed. This rotor copper loss we can also represent in terms of the air gap power, that is S into PG. So from that we can write PG into 1 minus S. So we know the mechanical power developed. Suppose there are friction and windage losses. In that case, if you have to subtract this friction and windage losses from the mechanical power developed so that we get the ultimate power output. So that we can see in the power stage diagram. So mechanical power developed minus friction and windage losses will give us output power. So since we are assuming that friction and windage losses are there, so we can write net output power at the shaft is equal to Pm minus friction and windage losses. So once we know the mechanical power developed, we can also calculate what is the torque developed in the motor. That is nothing but uh, power is equal to omega t, that is the formula. So from that we can get T is equal to Pm by omega m. So here omega m means it is the angular velocity of the rotor. So rotor speed will be known as n, that is the speed of the rotor in rpm. So 2 pi n by 60. So that we can write like this, 2 pi small n. Small n means revolutions per second. So n by 60 means you will get revolutions per second. So that we are going to substitute here to get the torque developed. And we also can write the torque equation like this. So we know what is this Pm, 3I2 dash square into R2 dash divided by omega into 1 by S minus 1. So we can further simplify when we get like this. 3I2 dash square into R2 dash divided by 2 pi n. So we are replacing omega n with the 2 pi small n. So into 1 minus S divided by S. And we know what is rotor speed, that is n is equal to ns minus 1 minus s. So if we convert that to revolutions per second, then we can write n is equal to ns minus 1 minus s. So then we can write the torque equation further like this. Torque is equal to 3I2 dash square into R2 dash divided by 2 pi ns into s. So then further we can write, we know this 3I2 dash square R2 dash by S is nothing but Pg, that is air gap power. So replacing these terms 3I2 dash square R2 dash by S with Pg, then we get the equation like this, Pg divided by 2 pi ns. So air gap power Pg is the torque measured in synchronous watts at synchronous speed. This is what it shows. Next, so from the equivalent circuit we can also write the rotor current referred to the stator side I2 dash is equal to V1 divided by root of R1 plus R2 dash by S whole square plus X1 plus X2 dash whole square. And then we can also write this torque equation like this. So we know there 3I2 dash square R2 dash divided by 2 pi ns by S. So we are replacing that I2 dash square with this. So then we get 3R2 dash divided by 2 pi ns into S into V1 by V1 square divided by, once we square this, then automatically the square root will go, then we get like this R1 plus R2 dash by S whole square plus X1 plus X2 dash whole square. So these are the formulas which are going to be used to solve the problems in this lecture. So let me take a problem here. Power input to the rotor of a 3-phase 50H 6-pole induction motor is 80 kilowatts. The rotor EMF makes 100 revolutions per minute. Find A bit slip B bit motor speed, C bit mechanical power developed, D bit rotor copper loss per phase, E bit rotor resistance per phase. If rotor current is 65 amperes, F is what is the torque developed. So here the first step is, so we know what is the stator poles and the power frequency. So from that we can calculate what is the magnetic field speed or stator magnetic field speed, that is called the synchronous speed. So Ns is equal to 120 F by P. Supply frequency is given as 50 Hz. So 120 into 50 and divided by number of poles of the stator are 6. So we get synchronous speed as 1000 RPM. Step 2 is rotor EMF frequency Fr is given by 100 by 60. Why it is like this? Because it is given in the data. The rotor EMF makes 100 revolutions per minute. So what we want is revolutions per second. That will give us frequency. So 100 divided by 60 will give us revolutions per second or cycles per second. So we get 100 by 60 is equal to 10 by 6. Then we get 5 by 3 Hz as the rotor induced EMF frequency. Then step 3, that is answer to the A bit. What is that? What is this slip? So we know the relation between the stator frequency and the supply frequency in terms of the slip, that is Fr is equal to S into F. So from that we can get what is the slip. S is nothing but Fr divided by F is equal to Fr we know that is 5 by 3 and the supply frequency we know that is 50 Hz. So 5 by 3 divided by 1 by into 1 by 50, then it will give us 1 by 30 slip. Next B bit is what is the motor speed. Once we know the synchronous speed, we can calculate what is the rotor speed or motor speed, that is equal to N is equal to Ns into 1 minus S. So that is nothing but 1000 into 1000 into 1 minus 1 by 30. So will give us 966.66 RPM. So next, what is the mechanical power developed? Mechanical power developed we can write as 1 minus S into PG. So S value we already calculated as 1 by 30. So 1 minus 1 by 30 and the air gap power also known. So that is nothing but 80 kilowatts. So we can substitute that here. So 1 minus 1 by 30 into 80 kilowatts will give us mechanical power developed 77.33 kilowatts. So then what is the rotor copper loss? Rotor copper loss has the relation with the air gap power, that is equal to S into PG. S value we know, slip value we know, that is 1 by 30 and the air gap power is also known, that is 80 kilowatts. So we can get 1 by 30 into 80 will give us 2.66 kilowatts. So what he wants is what is the rotor copper loss per phase, whereas this is rotor copper loss for 3 phases. So what we need is rotor copper loss per phase. So divide with 3 so that we get per phase. 2.66 divided by 3 will give us 0.8669 kilowatts or 888.9 watts. So next E bit, what is the rotor copper loss per phase? Earlier itself calculated, again we can say here like this. But additionally what he is saying is, if the rotor current is 65 amperes, what is the rotor resistance? Means rotor copper loss is fixed, but the rotor current is fixing and he wants to know what is the rotor resistance. For this we know the formula I2 dash square into R2, and that too per phase we want, so we have the per phase value readily available. So and the current is also given, so we can write R2 is equal to 889.5 889.9 divided by 65 square, so then we get 0.21 ohm per phase. So the last one is what is the torque developed. So the torque developed equation is nothing but it is like omega t is equal to power, so that is t is equal to pg divided by 2 pi ns. So what is pg? Pg is nothing but air gap power that is available, that is 80 kilowatt. So 80 into 10 cube divided by 2 pi ns. What is ns? This is uh, ns, small ns means it is the synchronous speed in revolutions per second. So 1000 is given in revolutions per minute, so to get per second we have to divide with 60, that is 1000 by 60. Once we simplify that we get 763.94 Newton meters. So here we have seen what are the different power stages in the three-phase induction motor and how to use the power stage diagram to solve the problem, and how to calculate the relation between the air gap power and the copper loss. Similarly, the relation between the mechanical power developed and the air gap power, and the relation between the input power and the air gap power. All these are covered. Similarly, we have seen how to calculate the torque developed in the rotor